What's going on, top producers? Alexander Fazlani here, and today we are going to discuss why I'm never going to invest in a co-op ever again. But before we do that, I'm gonna need you to hit that like, subscribe, and that little thing that looks like a bell so we can continuously bring this content to you every Tuesday and Friday for free 99. And as always, this is brought to you by Design for Agents, and e-commerce geared to making sure you have what you need in order to succeed in your real estate business. So now that we got that out the way, let's dive right in. So for those of you who don't know what a co-op unit is, it's basically not real property. So there's co-ops, condos, and houses. Condos and houses are real property. You actually own the deed to those properties. As a co-op, you get a territory lease, right? So basically what that is you own the shares that equate to your property. I know it sounds a little confusing, but it's basically like you're buying into a corporation. That's why it's called a co-op, aka a cooperative unit. Obviously, if you live in places like New York City, they're a little more common than any other place that I've been in the United States. So obviously there are some pros and cons, and not every co-op is made the same, right? So the pros of actually owning a co-op is it's kind of that intermediary between, renting and owning, right? So you have to put a large percentage down. However, the prices of the co-ops are usually not as expensive. And on the flip side, usually when you own a co-op, the prices of the co-ops don't usually skyrocket like condos and houses. So let's dive into why I'm never going to invest in one ever again. The first reason I would never invest in a co-op is that they do not have to follow fair housing. So in my opinion, this is very unethical, and I know the Real Estate Commission is working on changing this. However, as of right now, co-ops do not have to follow fair housing. They can be racist, they can judge you based on your employment, so what kind of employment you have, so on and so forth, right? If you have 2 kids instead of 1 kid, they can deny you for a 3-bedroom unit because they feel like you're gonna outgrow that unit, so on and so forth, right? So they can deny you on any reason and don't have to let you know why. So in my opinion, that is a huge issue. It's a huge red flag that could be problematic for people that want to move into a certain community and can't because they're either racist or they just don't want a specific type of person living in their co-op. Which leads me to number 2, which is there's a lot of policies and procedures in some of these co-ops. Obviously, not all co-ops are made the same, right? But some of these policies and procedures are completely outlandish, right? So they don't allow subletting. So you can't sublet your co-op for up to 2 years, or they might have like restrictions in regards to when you can rent and how you can rent. They also can say it's pet friendly, not pet friendly. They can require certain incomes, so on and so forth, right? So there's a lot of policies and procedures. They might not even let you use your backyard, but they have this beautiful backyard. For example, like in my building. It's kind of like living in North Korea if you get into a very strict co-op. And for the positive side of a strict co-op is obviously that's gonna help keep your maintenance down. If you have a building that's just blowing money left and right, then your maintenance is going to go up and the financials of the building are going to go down. So obviously you kind of want something in the middle, and finding that out is really hard to do when it comes to each building. Which leads me to number 3 is that the value of co-ops don't jump as much as values of real property, right? So if you're owning a condo and a house, the value of that is likely to go up over time, obviously depending on how the market is. But when the market it really suffers, usually co-ops are the first thing to dump, especially during the pandemic. No one wanted to move into a small apartment because, nobody wanted to be so close to each other. So everyone was rushing to buy houses and maybe even condos where they're smaller condos and you don't have to deal with as many people. Which leads me to issue number 4, which is during times of stress like a market crash, correction, and so on and so forth, the co-op can decide whether they want to allow you to sell that unit, because if the value of your unit goes down, right? So for example, let's say the co-op market is going down and they want to keep all 2 bedrooms or 1 bedrooms to be 300,000, right? And let's say the market is going down and nobody's buying a 2-bedroom co-op or a 1-bedroom co-op for 300,000, the co-op can decide whether they want to allow you to sell it for anything less than that. So as real estate agents, sometimes we have to manipulate and do price fixing and all this other crazy stuff just so the co-op board can have what they want and maintain their fake value. So there you have it, guys. This is why I will never invest in a co-op again. And obviously not all co-ops are made the same. Some co-ops have great financials and they have everything in a line and they're not racist or anything like that. But for every good one, there's always a bad one. So what are your opinions, guys? If you're in New York and you actually work a lot of co-ops, let me know in the comments below what your personal opinions are. And as always, this is brought to you by Design for Agents and e-commerce gear to make sure you have what you need to hit the pinnacle of your career, whether it be marketing, branding, or organizing your business. Learn more about that in the description below. And my name is Alexander Fazlani, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.